Business Brain, episode 693 for Casual FridAI, October 17th, National Clean Your Virtual Desktop Day, 2025. Greetings, folks, and welcome to Business Brain, the show where we take some ideas, some of ours, some of yours. We crunch them, we dissect them, we use them to tune our business brains every single time we get together. Sponsors for this episode include Shopify.com/businessbrain, where you can sign up for your $1 per month trial period and start upgrading your selling today. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. For now, here in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton.
And out here in Northern California, I'm Shannon Jean. I love how Shopify, I think they've sponsored us on and off for I want to say 5 years, man.
It's been a long time.
It's awesome. I love having them come back, and they are, it's just an amazing resource for entrepreneurs. So
I love it.
It's really cool.
It's so easy to use. It's great. It's crazy.
It's amazing.
It's FridAI, and we have some listener feedback about this. Feedback at businessbrain.show is where David sent this in. He says, hearing you talk about Replit recently prompted me to want to share my vibe coding example. Replit's a platform where you can build apps. He says, I run a local sports media operation that covers high school games in my town. Nice. I live stream the games. I do play-by-play. And I also write recaps after every game.
Amazing.
I've always tracked scoring manually using a paper score sheet, then written my recaps with that information. During the last basketball season, I thought, I bet I could code this. Within a week or so, I had a web iPad app that did so much more than I was doing with paper, because after every game, I would think, I wish I could do this new thing, and then I would add it. Now, he says, it tracked individual and team scoring and fouls, noted the current scoring streak, i.e., Springfield has scored 9 straight points.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Visually indicated as players scored more points. Every 5 points, the point total is displayed bolder, so I can glance at the screen and see who are the leading scorers. Oh, this is amazing.
Little things, right? That's huge.
It says it kept a running list of every score throughout the game. Smith Central High School, 3-pointer, 3-0. Jones, Springfield High School, 2-pointer, 3-2, etc. On that running list, each time a team achieved its biggest lead thus far in the game, the line was displayed in bold so I could glance to see it and include it in the play-by-play. This is what, dude. And he says, finally, and most important, I included an export function that generated everything in a format that I could feed to Claude, where I have a project with years worth of my own sports writing. By the end of the season, I was posting game recaps before I even left the venue. He says the game changer, he says, is not just creating the app initially, but that iteration. I literally was able to add new features that I cared about, no matter how niche, as I went along. He says, I'm hoping to get a football app built by the fall, but it's proving to be even more complicated than basketball. I can see that. But this is amazing. And he used Replit to do it.
It is amazing.
And it's all vibe coded, right? There's no...
make it go bold when it does this, and make it do this.
But you don't have to know how to code to do what David did. You just have to know what you want. And that's it. This is amazing.
Yeah, and it'll also teach you, because writing it and then deploying it can sometimes be different, right? And I have to do a connection with this, or I want to do this, and it Replit would just teach me how to do it. It's go get an account at this place.
Right.
Go do this. You sign up and then change this to work this way. I love that, and I can't help but thinking you should start a business and offer that as a service to other local newsletter people or broadcast people or something like that. That sounds like a very useful, $10 a month SaaS product right there.
I was this guy for a couple of years, not the app creator, the sport, the youth sports kind of
kids growing up.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yep.
And I would have paid for this app because it would have made it more fun for the kids.
Yes.
I mean, it would have made it more fun for me in real time to be able to say, all right, that's his longest run of a game so far.
You can
and
watch the game more.
Exactly.
Because you're not writing stuff down. You get to be in it instead of being so much of an observer of it.
But then at the end of the game, being able to publish the thing, like I never published a game recap because I didn't capture anything.
Yeah.
I was just talking through the game. But if I had this, I could just like just push buttons. And here's the thing. I know David's doing all this by himself. David doesn't have to be the only one pushing buttons. He could have somebody else putting in, somebody scored. So now he's just doing the play-by-play. Somebody else is putting in the stuff, but it's showing up on David's screen because it's a web app.
Or he could just be talking, right? Can't he you could just dictate to it.
Well, but now it shows up and says, this is their biggest lead so far. Right? Yeah. So like, this is awesome.
And I would also like, a fast-growing niche business is our local newsletters. Like, this is what's going on in your town, your county, whatever. And it just seems like this would be such a perfect thing for a local newsletter person to include.
Yeah.
Here's the highlights or rundown from Friday night high school game. Yeah, people want to do it. I couldn't get to the game. I want to watch it. Yeah,
yeah, it's local news. Yeah,
and you're adding that level of professionalism that makes it more exciting. That, like you said, Dave, the kids are more into it. Like, check it out. It's like being on ESPN or whatever.
Yeah, there's an article published somewhere. It doesn't matter where, but I guarantee you, your local paper will eventually want to pick up those game recaps and publish them. And what a cool thing for all the kids to see. Oh my gosh, like this is it. Oh, look, Tommy got his Oh, look, I got to mention too. Like that's amazing. Yeah.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you. And I love this, because of the human interest of this, but also I love sharing our examples of how we're using these tools, because even though my time to do this has passed, I mean, at least with my kids, and I'm probably not going to go back and do it, but it gives me inspiration to like, Replit, I probably should be thinking more about that. So
yeah. And this super niche part of it, I guarantee every single business owner or entrepreneur that's listening, one of these vibe coding services could make your life better.
Yes.
And it's
I'm a coder, and vibe coding has made my life more profitable, which is also better. Yes.
Yes, exactly. And it's not all about like replacing humans. It's just adding, making things better for the humans that work for you, and creating better systems and procedures.
Or for your customers too.
Yeah, for your customers. It's amazing. So I love that. Thanks for sharing, David. That's sweet.
Ian has one last thing before we hear about how ChatGPT did Shannon's taxes. He says a new prompt inspired by your AI text communication episode. Yep. Mm-hmm. He says communication is difficult. Saturday night, I told my wife the leftovers should last for a week. I meant that they would spoil within a week. She thought I meant we had enough food for a week. That choose your own adventure moment reminded me how easily text creates ambiguity. To catch that, he says, I built a prompt. My prompt is, analyze my text for possible interpretations. Rank them by likelihood based on how most readers would understand the wording. Ask me to confirm which meaning I intend. Then provide 2 alternative rewrites that eliminate ambiguity while preserving my tone. And I will put this prompt in the episode so that everybody has it. Yeah,
that's a good prompt.
That's a great prompt.
I don't know that telling my wife I'm using ChatGPT to discuss things with her would go over well, but I can tell you. No, she listens to the show, so I'm in trouble already.
It's over now.
I'll give you a great example of this. This Airbnb we stayed at last week for this conference had a pool table, and they had 2 pool cues across the table. Kind of looked nice when we first got there. And that night when we went to play pool, we realized only one of the cues had a tip. It had the plastic piece, but the actual...
But not the felt.
Not the felt was gone. So I texted. They said, please communicate via text if you have any questions. I texted and said, hey, place looks great. Just want to let you know, there's only one pool cue that has
Functional.
a tip, functional.
Yeah.
And so we're switching this off. Not a big deal. I just want to let you know. And their response, I could probably find it and read it to you, but their response was, I took it as kind of snarky and kind of, hey, they said, I inspected those yesterday and they were in perfect shape. Not only that, there was 3 of them, not 2. So I said, well, I'm a rental homeowner too, and I know one of the things that breaks all the time, pool cues. I keep a stock because I just thought they'd have some in the closet that I could go grab, right?
Yeah.
That's all I was saying. But they were in a 5 seconds that they responded, they were, you're wrong, and you stole the other pool cue or something like this.
Oh,
So
wow.
I could see that with so much customer service handling via text now, that would be very important because it would be good to ask or maybe automate, hey, before you send that text, this is a probable how it's going to be interpreted. Because I was instantly like, well, these people, it was like a professional company, but I was like, I don't know. And I actually snapshot it and sent it to my wife because we manage these vacation rentals all the time. And you have to go over the top to be friendly because it's text and it's flat and everybody interprets it differently. And so I was like, well, let me just take a video and I'll walk around. I'll show you there are no cues here. I've been here. Everybody flew in. We're not taking, $10 pool cues home with us. And here's the tip. And even if we had broke the tip while we were there for the one pool cue, that's a consumable item. And
that is consumable. Correct.
So in their defense, after I went back and forth a little bit, they ordered new ones and had new cues show up.
Oh, nice.
Was it the next day? The next day. So it was great service,
okay.
But it was interpreted.
It already set an antagonistic relationship.
So I love this from a commercial or business perspective, that having the AI review these things before you send them could be really powerful.
Oh, that's brilliant. I have a meeting next week with one of my businesses where I have not been in charge of customer service in this business. That is not a slight against the people who have, but they're not as obsessive about the concept of every business is in the customer service business as I am. And we're noticing that we're having a decline in customer satisfaction, and all of our CS is handled by text. So again, just what I was saying before, your example doesn't resonate with me specifically because I don't own properties. Yeah. But the idea of beware when handling CS by text,
its tone
absolutely resonates.
Hard to set the right
it's
tone.
It's hard. You have to go over the top via text.
It should have been like, hey, Shannon, we hope you're having a great time.
So
Thanks
sorry
for
about
us.
this.
Yeah, sorry about that. Thanks for alerting us. We're gonna just order. You're gonna order it anyway. So
it's gonna happen.
Why tell me I'm wrong 2 times? But an AI precursor to that chat, whether it's email or chat, could have said, hey, the probability of this being interpreted negatively is 93%.
Super high. Yeah. Here's a new way to say it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Right.
That's a great prompt. Thanks for sharing that, man.
I want to hear about how ChatGPT did your taxes, Shannon, and we'll do that in a minute. The next thing I want to talk about is our sponsors. And you know that magical purple shop pay button you see when you're buying something online? The one that makes checkout feel like it's reading your mind? That's our sponsor, Shopify. And at that same platform that makes it easy to buy is what makes it incredibly easy to sell. I use Shopify for merch and more, and it's what I wish every entrepreneur had when they first start out. And if you're starting today, guess what? You can. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., from big names like Mattel to creators just launching their first idea like you or me. You get hundreds of beautiful, ready-to-go templates, no coding required, and you can manage everything: inventory, payments, analytics, and even marketing, all in one place. And that purple Shop Pay button I mentioned, it's not just pretty. It is, but it's also the best converting checkout on the planet. Your customers already love it. I mean, if that button were a person, it would probably run for president and win in a landslide. So if you're ready to sell smarter, not harder, and live your charmed life doing it, It's time for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into ka-ching with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/businessbrain. Go to shopify.com/businessbrain. One more time, shopify.com/businessbrain. And our thanks to Shopify for sponsoring this episode. Did you do all of your taxes with ChatGPT, Shannon?
Well, it's a great headline. Before people freak out and call the IRS on me, I do have an accountant. He's awesome, and their assistants are great too. So, of course, I sent everything to them. But I did use ChatGPT for a lot of the prep work, and I'll tell you a couple of examples. As I have you may not be surprised, but I have income and expenses from, I couldn't name how many different places, right? All kinds of subscriptions, software, people, consultants, this, that. I mean, it's just like on and on and on and on. And the same on the income side. There's like, oh, here's this money from Stripe and from Poshmark and from eBay and from Kajabi and from all these different things and the podcast, all this stuff, right? So it always takes me a ton of time. But what I do during the year, as those invoices come in or receipts, that I try to put everything on one particular card, okay? Credit card. Some things I can't, but most things I can.
Yeah.
But I do that. And then I also, as it comes in, I sort into a specific folder in my mail. I know I'm not very good at this stuff. So I just, I use my Gmail account for these kinds of services so I don't get spammed in my regular account. Yeah. And ChatGPT taught me about this thing, and I don't know if you've ever used it. It's called Google Takeout. And it's at takeout.google.com, which I never knew about it. And it was because I said to my ChatGPT, I said, hey, I've got a whole year of that we're talking about 2024. I said I got a whole year of just random emails with expenses, invoices, payments, subscription receipts, and I don't want to have to go through them all. And it said, great, go to takeout.google.com, get into your account, find the mailbox, find the folder that you want or the label that you want, and export it for me. I said, great. I exported that mailbox. It said, upload it. I'll go through and just find all the stuff that have a 2024 date, and I'll create a spreadsheet for you. I said, great. That's awesome. I said, could you also categorize it? Absolutely. I will categorize it to the best of my ability, right? Because it's not going to get everyone wrong. No. But it knows what Zoom is. It knows what Canva is. It knows what Vistaprint does, right? You'd hope. And so it did a pretty darn good job. I'd say about 82% accuracy on categorizing things that were expenses. I said, that's amazing. But it didn't get everything. But I also missed things. So I went to my credit card statement. I got the 2024 end of year wrap up. I uploaded that to ChatGPT and I said, make sure there's no duplicates, but I also want you to find what I could have missed. What looks like a business expense for you? And I want you to be very liberal about that. I said that. I want you to be a wide lens of what could be a business expense. Yeah,
we'll filter on the other side.
I'll filter. It created another spreadsheet for me, and I had to go, and I would say that one was probably about 77% accurate. I had to remove like a bunch of Amazon personal stuff.
Would it have been 77.2 or 77.4? Because
you can only go so granular. Dude.
Okay.
So I had to do this, and I said, great. And then I have a bunch of 1099s. Right, I have a bunch of and my
K1s.
Wife has wife K1s. My wife has W2s. We have all kinds of stuff, and so I said, "Hey, I'm going to upload all these here. I need you to organize this, put it in the right categories, get all ready." So it effectively created the documents that I needed to send to my accountant. Right, and because these, I'm. Like, I'd like to tell you that I enter all this stuff in like a QuickBooks type program.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't. I don't for me. It's not realistic that I'm going to do this all the time. I'm just not. Right. This is not who I am. So it really helped tremendously to get all the prep work done that I could send it. Yes, I caught some errors and I had to double check things and I had to go, okay, the total that I have in the spreadsheet that I manually added up, does that total match the one that ChatGPT
Yeah.
ChatGPT did. And it showed me why sometimes there was some differences because the way I had things sorted on the spreadsheet, it's looking for patterns and it was missing a couple things. But I kind of walked through and I iterated to where I got very comfortable. And it was awesome. It's just another example of a way to use these amazing tools to save you time.
That's really smart.
Great.
Because it's the prep work where I always find I wind up sort of cutting it short. Right?
Yeah,
it's like, I'm exhausted.
And I missed
this
stuff.
This is enough. I'm sending it off.
Yep.
Whereas
I do the same thing.
I could do my version of it and maybe not quite get to the point of exhaustion, but get to that 50% mark where I've pulled it all together and then take that and ship it to ChatGPT and say, just like you did, say, hey, you go through this now. What did I miss? What do I have?
Yes.
And
then the final part
really
is you get it to your accountant and say, okay.
And then send it to my accountant.
Then they double or triple check it. And, I always joke to my accountant about decisions. I always say, is this a prison decision or a penalty decision?
Yes.
And you would imagine I'm comfortable with one of those if it's like, well, we think you qualify for this. If it gets declined or something, whatever, there may be some kind of penalty.
Yeah, they got to recapture something.
I'm looking at the cost analysis and trying to figure out, because I think it's your patriotic duty to pay the minimal amount of taxes.
I agree.
I believe I've paid more taxes than probably, I don't know, 82% of the people in the country. And so I feel like I've paid enough, and I want to pay everything I'm obligated to do. I want to pay, but I also want to take every single write-off and expense that I can. It's running my business, and this is just one more way that it's helped me, and it's the first year that I've done it, and I think it's worthwhile.
I love this. That's outstanding.
Cool. Given the GPT, your credit card statements is a game changer in general.
That's perhaps the most.
It will tell you stuff.
Meta lesson here.
The prompt. One of my favorite prompts is I upload the statement and I say, "What am I wasting my money on?" And dude, and I'm like, be harsh. Yeah, I'm looking for tough love here.
Yeah.
And it'll come back. It'll say, "Did you know you're spending $180 a month on streaming services? Did you know that you're?" I mean, it gets pretty granular. I love it, and it works great if you live your life with a credit card, which I do.
Same.
I run every dollar through a card. We pay them off every month.
Sure. But you get all the rewards, and yeah.
And I just, from a tracking standpoint, excuse me, I don't write checks if I don't have to.
Yeah.
And I need an assistant that can analyze this stuff for me. Works great.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's brilliant, man. I will share, before we go, I will share a meta lesson here for me. And that is, when you put this topic on the agenda, I said, dang it, why didn't I think of that? And I still don't know why I didn't think of using ChatGPT to help me with my tax preparation, right?
Yeah.
But I'm somebody, we do this episode every week. Like I use like some AI, if it's ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity, every day, usually multiple ones. And the fact is, I did not think of this until you said it. And that means you folks, whatever you are doing with ChatGPT that you think is super obvious to me and Shannon, you have something valuable that we don't know. So please send it to us at feedback@businessbrain.show. I guarantee you, sure, some of the stuff maybe we've thought of, but we're going to share it anyway because somebody else out there hasn't.
Well, you use it different, and you want to share it.
And you're going to use it different. Yeah. So please send it to us. We definitely want to know. Feedback.
Share it with the community.
Feedback@businessbrain.show. We're all in this together. We're just, Shannon and I are just the stewards. Send it in. We want to share it. And keep living that charmed life. And I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Take care. See you.